Hey everyone, and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be ranking every single Mario game on the Nintendo Switch. Well, let's first talk over the little bit of rules I have for what I will consider and won't consider for the list. I will be including spin-offs such as parties and carts. I also will be including the sports spin-offs. I also will be including the games that are not really Mario frontlines, but they're still Mario games, such as Luigi's Mansion, Toad, Wario, Yoshi, and I'll even throw Donkey Kong in there just to make it a little bit spicy. And finally, I will include non-Nintendo Mario games such as Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games and Mario plus Rabbids. What I won't allow on this list is Mario vs. arcade games. There's so many on the Switch. You can go ahead and find pretty much any old arcade Mario game and it'll be on there. So, yeah. And also, I won't be including Mario Kart Home Circuit. The reason that it's not really a video game, it's more that an RC control. Yeah. With that out of the way, we have a total of 23 games we'll be ranking today, so let's get it started. Now, I just want to put one thing out. This game is not bad. I'm just going to be honest, it is not bad. It's just comparing to every other Mario game on this list, this is definitely the worst one. Going off a golf game, or I guess a Mario golf game, it's actually not that bad of one. Like, it's super fast paced, there's a lot to do. The character roster isn't that bad, and the story mode is overall pretty good. Well, decent. I wouldn't say good, but decent. Overall, not a bad game, but definitely the worst out of this list. Now, for a puzzle box game, this game isn't that bad. I actually really enjoyed it, and yeah. My only complaints is that the bosses that are in this game is just really repetitive, and yeah, although the final boss was pretty fun. And the only other thing I would really complain about is that the fact that Toadette and Toad, you kind of switch between them, they don't have any differences between them. They're just the same character. If they had like different abilities and stuff like that, I think this game would have probably been a lot better. I feel like a lot of people have different opinions about this game, but overall, I think it's okay. Comparing it to the other Paper Mario games, this is not great. I mean, thing is, the most recent Paper Mario games, they took a decent idea and did it kind of bad. Origami King was decent. I didn't really have a great experience with it. It's just not memorable compared to the other Paper Mario games. And, I mean, there are some good parts, and the bosses were okay, but, I mean, if you're making Scissors a boss, I don't know if I want to play this game. I'm just No, honestly, this game isn't that bad. It's just a little disappointing, to say the least. Like, coming from a guy that really enjoyed the first two Striker games, this one was just a little disappointing. The character roster was smaller, the amount of game modes and extra things you can do in this game was smaller. It just felt like this game was, let alone, just a lot smaller and empty-handed. But it was overall an okay experience. Very competitive game, though, so I would only recommend if you like competitive games. Now, this is probably the most controversial part of this entire video. My opinion, Luigi's Mansion 3 was a very sad game. It was overall not bad, don't get me wrong, but comparing it to the first two games, I just generally enjoyed the first two way more than the third one. Also, not to mention, I feel like the third one felt like a lot more of a chore than the first two. I don't know. The third one just felt like a game that took just so long for no reason. It got really complicated at some parts where I literally had to search it up to find what to do. Yeah, it's okay. In my opinion, it's an okay game, but I've seen people say this is the best game on the Switch, so I don't know. To be completely honest, I was not really excited for this game. I mean, I only really was excited for Mario Galaxy, and I've never touched both Sunshine and 64 before this point. So I was not really hyped for this game, but when I got the game, I was playing it for so long. I completed Galaxy within like the first day I got it, and 64 is okay, and I never touched Sunshine because I don't care for Sunshine. But for the most part, this game is actually not that bad. You get 3 games from 3 different generations in one single game, which is actually not that bad of a deal. But I didn't grow up with any of these, so it means nothing to me, really. Now, okay, I think a lot of people could maybe agree with me on this one. Thing is, I like Donkey Kong games, but this one just didn't do it for me. I haven't played a lot of them, but from what I've gone from them, they're pretty fun and exciting, but also challenging. This one just makes you want to die, because like every single thing that in this game has can literally kill you. A single piece of grass can kill you, which is exactly why I'm mad. Okay, no, the thing is, this game is pretty fun for what it is, and the overall, everything about it is pretty good. It's just, I've not really been big into Donkey Kong games in the first place, so this one's not really into my cup of tea, to say the least. Now, comparing WarioWare Move It and WarioWare Get It Together, I really had a hard time choosing which one was better, because they're both pretty equivalent on how level and fun they are. I think WarioWare is pretty underrated for a game series, and I think people should actually try it out. The thing about WarioWare Move It that I dislike a little bit more than Get It Together is the fact that you need Joy-Cons to play. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the Joy-Cons, like, moving stuff, so yeah, it's overall okay, but in my opinion, Get It Together is better. Now, in my opinion, WarioWare Get It Together is the better WarioWare on the Switch, but I mean, they're practically on the same level of fun. It just depends if you like using the Joy-Cons more or not. My opinion, I do not, so of course I like Get It Together more. Now, in my opinion, they're both pretty fun, and I think they have a lot of potential for both of them, but honestly, they're both pretty fun. They're both pretty good games. Now, in my opinion, this game is probably the best Mario Tennis game. Not only that, but it's the best Mario sports game on the Switch. Hopefully, Sluggish comes out sooner than later. Anyways, yeah, Mario Tennis Aces is really, really fun. It does a lot. The character roster is not only really big, but does a lot of cool things. Like, this is the first time we actually get to see Kamek. Okay, not the first time, but one of the times that we actually get to see Kamek as a playable character. This was actually the first time I think Pauline actually became more of a mainstay character in the series. And on top of that, honestly, this game is just so fun. It has a lot of capabilities, and the best part, the story mode is so fun. The story mode is just great, in my opinion. Okay, well, in my opinion, this game's pretty good for what it is, but for someone that really, really liked the first one, this one kind of just didn't do it service. Like, first of all, they made it more complicated than it needed to be, and like, they just, that doesn't need to be a reason for that. Also, the voice acting is not necessary at all. Like, some of the characters just don't need voices, and they just kind of ruined it. It just doesn't feel as colorful as it did in the first game. The things I can say about this game that I really do enjoy is how organized the bosses are. They feel so different and unique, and you can remember all of them. They always feel different. I just generally like about them. Super Mario Party. Yeah, it's honestly pretty fun. In my opinion, it's probably one of the best family games available on the Nintendo Switch, but there's a few things I just don't like about it. For one, it's super easy. It is probably one of the easiest Mario Parties of all time. You know, the board is just a whole square, the mini-games are super easy and sometimes luck-based, and yeah, also, like I said before, I'm not a big fan of the Joy-Cons, and that's kind of the main source of this game. But it's overall fun, the roster is pretty big, and I overall like it. Considering as I'm making this video, this is the very newest Mario game on the Switch, this is actually pretty fun. Mario RPG is just kind of a remake of a very old game, which, yeah, but it's overall really fun. The bosses feel unique and they're not just Bowser. I mean, one boss is Bowser, but that's like the very first one. And I mean, it takes some skill to actually play this game, it honestly does. So it's overall pretty fun. Would recommend it if you haven't bought it already, but yeah, there's definitely better on the list. Now that we're at the top 10, it is really hard to pick what is next and what isn't. But I honestly love this game. This is pretty fun. It has a lot of good, you know, stuff. It's pretty all around. It's probably one of the better Mario and Sonics that came out. The character roster is a little lackluster, not gonna lie, could have been better. But something I really do like is the story mode. The story mode is not only like really interesting and they took a good concept, but they also made it so you can get characters from it, making you want to play the story mode. So I think that's really cool how they did that. Okay, well, this game is really good and definitely one of the best Mario Karts of all time. The character roster is pretty big, although there is some questionable characters. The mini games are really fun, and with the DLC, this game has practically any and every single stage before, and yeah. Honestly speaking, this game's pretty good, but honestly, I like some other games more, so let's continue. Wow, it's getting really difficult at this point. Well, honestly, Mario Odyssey is great. It did amazing as a game. The overall idea is just great. It's just the only thing I have problems with is the potential and the bosses. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some pretty cool bosses, like the dragon, for example. But a lot of the times we're either fighting, the Broodsters, and then maybe other times we're fighting something original. I wish every single time we got something new and unique on the world. Although this game is just beautiful, the closest thing we have to a great open world Mario. Honestly speaking, this game is just absolutely beautiful. It just took what everything Woolly World did wrong and made it good. I like this game. It had original bosses. Some of them were okay, but the other ones were pretty good. Multiplayer isn't bad on this one like the first one was. And the overall idea of the vending machine is such a cool concept, but yet it keeps you playing, so I really like this game. In my opinion, this is practically the best Mario Party there is, and there's a good reason for that. There's tons of mini games, pretty much most of them, tons of side modes. I mean, not tons, but a lot of side modes. And yeah, it's overall fun. The only problem I have with this game is the character roster. I mean, it could have been a little bit bigger, but other than that, it's honestly a pretty good game. The closest thing we have to a perfect Mario Party. Some people consider this a good game, and I do too. Oh my gosh, this game is good. Easily the best Mario-related game of 2023. It's just, there's so much good stuff about it. It got a good change. There was so much good and fun stuff all around it. The character selection's decent, but overall fun. This game just is an all-around good experience. It's a good sudden change for what Nintendo has done in the past, so I'm very, very glad this game is a thing. Yup. Yup. Coming across YouTube, I've seen so many different opinions about this game, and I'm just gonna be honest, I like the new series a lot more than Wonder, and I think that's a fair reason. I love the new series and what it brings and all the unique differences between all of them. Although I will admit that the bosses are really repetitive, and I mean, other than that, I really can't complain. It's fun. It also is very, I would say, casual and competitive at the same time, especially if you're playing with other players. But overall, really love this game. But it's still not my favorite new game, but it's still really fun all around. Honestly, this game is pretty much the closest thing to a gorgeous game, by the way. It's gorgeous! It's gorgeous! Okay, look. The character roster isn't too complex, and it's overall fine. Although, Yoshi and Rabbit Yoshi is a little interesting, but that's all I can say. The bosses feel so unique, yet so challenging, and just so memorable, especially the guy that sings. That guy was scary. And yeah, even the final boss just felt so challenging, but yet so fun. Oh my, Honestly, I just love this game so much. I love the first one, and the sequel just did it a little bit better, and oh my gosh, this game is so good. It pretty much just makes the potential of what Mario could be and puts it at its max, and I just love it. The online, just everything. Everything's so fun, and I just love this game so much. Man, this game is just beautiful, to say the least. So, thing is, for Bowser's Fury, I'm not really a big fan of it. It's okay, it's whatever. But 3D World is the, oh my gosh, masterpiece. Tons of unique and cool power-ups, like the Double Cherry. Cool levels, and it's actually not really, like, the easiest game in the world. It's pretty hard. And, yeah, it's overall fun. I just generally think it was really great. Also, the music is so fire. Well, guys, thank you for watching this video. Please hit that subscribe button. That would be very appreciated. Also, comment down yours, because I would like to hear it, and, see if we have similar opinions. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. See you later.